very much and welcome everyone from our side. My name is Jeremias Kettner and that's my colleague Zakaria Gaga. And before we speak about the Arabic Culture House, the Divan today, we would like to thank the entire ICD team for putting together this very important initiative here. It almost feels like coming home as we started our cooperation between ICD and the Cultural House over a year ago. I spoke at several of your events in New York and also here in Germany. We hosted several events at the Arabic Cultural House. And yeah, now we are here, so we are happy to be back. And we hope that we can tell you some insights about the Arabic Cultural House and our work.
I am happy to be here today in ICD and to met some faces already. They are visit us in the Divan, and it will be a great option to tell you more about the Arabic Divan initiative by the state of Qatar.
We can skip this one as we were greatly introduced already. The only thing we would like to highlight here is that we, of course, both are really passionate about arts and culture ourselves. We like it in our private lives and made it part of our profession, because I myself are convinced that, I mean, you always have to do what you love, you know. So you have to find a job where you can follow your passion, and that's true for you as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's very happy most of the time.
Of course, my name's Gaga. I should be happy.
So
okay.
We would like to give you a hypothesis for the discussion later. And yes, I think we all can agree that culture can be an excellent bridge builder between nations and societies, and that's our aim at the house. But we also have a but, because we say that it's impossible to understand everything about the other side. So we need to be open-minded and meet the stranger, and the stranger is defined as a foreigner, as a different culture, individuals. Like you can put a lot into this term. And in order to accept the stranger, you have to be open-minded, and then you have the ability to learn from each other and enrich each other. But I think meet in the middle is the thing you have to look for. And some people are so desperate in all these speak and research about intercultural communication, and sometimes it's very easy for me. You just say, hey, that's him and that's me, and we are different, and that's fine, you know, but we can do things together.
Yeah, the Arabic Cultural House, the Divan, opened in November, last 2 years, in November 21st, by the former minister Zidma Gabriel and Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani, the foreign minister from Qatar, and the other ambassadors. It was before the American allies, as you can read here, used for several years in the area of Zehlendorf, because the area of Zehlendorf is based to be American part after the Second War. Later, it was used by a film production company, and in 1997, it was bought by the Qatar state as a mission after back Berlin to be like the capital again of Germany.
So some of you already visited our house, right? So you recognize it, or?
We did.
Who?
Yeah, here, there.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Yeah.
Zayak.
So our vision, bring cultures together and build bridges of communication. And we want to do this while we are introduced to Arab culture in the fields of arts, literature, and history. Thereby, we would like to expand the Arab-German dialogue through cultural programs in the fields of culture, education, sport, innovation, entrepreneurship, and politics. So we have 5 fields here. And as you can see, it's a variety of different topics. And in each topic, you can put many different things, be it workshops, be it expert rounds, discussions, exhibitions, so on and so on. But I think it's better to see pictures later. We have a little video prepared for you guys where you can see the activities.
Yeah, and through our vision and mission, we are going to achieve our aims, and which to create Arab and German cultural relation, and promote communication and collaboration show the rich Arab literature through the library, develop training programs, workshops, and holding conferences, which we are done almost 1 year ago, more than 40 events and workshops and conferences. Our structure.
Yeah, exactly. Just a little background information. So we have the advisory board, and we have a chairman of the advisory board who is Ambassador Sheikh Saud Al Thani. He's the ambassador of Qatar to Germany, but is also our chairman. He used to be the Secretary General from the Qatar Olympic Committee, so he comes from sports and he's very passionate about using sports and also culture as a bridge builder, and is pushing this a lot and helping us personally, which is really important. And would like to share this insight with you. You always need someone on the top who pushes your cause, because otherwise on the operational level you cannot succeed. You know, I mean, you need resources, time, and you need face time with the person who is in charge.
Prof. Dr. Yeah, Prof. Dr. Ryan Abdullah, he's the Dean of Art College in Leipzig. He did a lot of logos, which one? Bentley, Volkswagen, and also he did the change for the ADLA of Germany after the united between the West and the East Germany, and he is really famous in his field and help us a lot to publish. And by the way, we will publish the first calligraphy prize in this year.
Okay, before we go through all the board members, that would take hours, and they're all great people and achieved a lot. But what we are looking to achieve with the board members is help. So the expectation management, we made it really clear in the beginning. It's not only giving us the name. Of course, the big shots sometimes only give the name, but we would like to have real help, meaning like using their networks, get some ideas for workshops and so on. So get good content via the advisory board. Because, and that's the next point, we are a new initiative and we are a small team. We have 4 staff people. So there are limited resources, but that's the case in any cultural institution. We have also volunteers. We work with the John F. Kennedy School, which is an American-German school in Berlin-Zehlendorf, and they have a program called National Honor Society, where only the brightest students can be part of. Good grades, but also they have to show that they care about causes and help in the cultural fields.
Interns.
And interns.
Now we are going to start to give the chance for the students who they cannot find internship in some Arab organization. By the way, just there is DIFG, and now we are going to make a collaboration with the FO, because just from the Divan 10 minutes, and also why not we can open internship for the students from ICD. And it will be like a great chance. They can also help us make networking, learn how to organize some different programs, and meet interesting people.
Yeah, we are also organized as a platform. So what we provide everyone who has an interest in Arab-German cultural relations is we have the physical space, we have the house, we care about the food, so we give you food, guys. That's always important. And then, so we provide this room. And what we like from our guests is like bringing the interesting ideas, like shaping the discussions. This is something, of course, we shaped from our side, but together with the advisory board and everyone who has an interest, I mean, that's our aim, that we have this house here and it's open to people who would like to use this stage and promote their culture and their art, and find a platform, because this is the thing. I mean, there's so many different platforms in Berlin. It's also a big competition, so that's why it brings us back to the content is key. So you have to offer something which is really interesting to the people, and we reach this also with our partners. So we have many different stakeholders which enrich our programming. Yeah,
the activities until now, as I mentioned, in 2018, we reached more than 40 events in our field of culture and art, education and academia, entrepreneurship and innovation, and sports and politics. Of course, those programs, we did it with the guide of the advisory board and our chairman, and with different partners. And we are looking this year to make more than 50 programs with other and new organization and partners. We can show them like the video.
Can
You need your help, please?
Actually,
There's some secrets here.
Isn't the presentation the video?
Yes,
or-
no,
Oh,
the
we have
video
to
in the
close
file.
it.
We should close it. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Good, with some.
Yeah, sounds should be on.
Let's have impressions. That's the house from outside. Inside was the main room where we have this huge table. You cannot move. It's there. So where the magic happens.
Sorry, we don't know what's going on.
This is Sheikha Mayasa. She's the chairwoman of the Qatar Museums Authority and is in charge since 10 years. And she's my age, older, 5 or something. Since 10 years in charge of the whole cultural sector of Qatar. And her brother is the emir, the current leader of the country. That's our the volunteers, just all these young people. And by the way, we're going next week to go with them to Doha, 2 of them, and show them around in all the museums. This is our thank you for the big help.
You can guess.
So this was during Ramadan. We had the iftar, fasting session. That's one of the biggest animals in summer. It's in our garden. So it's a big garden. We showed the World Cup there. Everyone was welcome to watch soccer. So that's our chairman. when His Excellency the Emir of Qatar was in our house, it was really important for us. He was here on economic forum, Qatar German forum, he came to our house. Also promoted the cultural relations and made the point that's really important today. We also brought some brochures and reports of our activities, so you can see the pictures there as well.
Plan B. She's the mayor of Berlin. Thank you. Come back to the presentation. Yes. Cool. Thank you. I think the music it's nice than picture. Yeah, perfect.
Maybe the pictures are confidential.
Yeah, thank you.
No, but the file was corrupt.
It
Can
worked,
be,
it,
yeah.
worked, it worked perfectly when we came here.
Somehow the file was corrupt because, as you can see, you couldn't see the photos, but you could see the lines of the photo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that is because the file was corrupt at some point.
Thank you. You're an expert.
It was not. It was not. I am not an expert. It was not the problem of the video.
Anyways, we will see the pictures in the reports. Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that again. So how can we contribute to a better integration through cultural diplomacy? That's the question we ask ourselves every day. And of course, you can speak a lot in theory, but you have to see day to day how you get the job done. And yeah, you can build deep and sustainable relations based on understanding and highlighting common grounds. And we are convinced that dialogue is the only way to address and face all forms of intolerance, and there's so much of it and so much hate out there. So actually culture is something everyone needs and can agree on, and if he or she is open-minded, is a door or bridge to another world. But, and here's a big but from our practical experience, that it's sometimes difficult to motivate people to leave their beliefs and prejudices and stereotypes. I mean, that's comfortable, you know, you feel cozy there and you don't want to move. We all know this. And then politics, you cannot leave politics out. You always can say it's not about politics, but actually it is about politics because everything is political in this world. And then, of course, resources and location. We already said we have to work with our budget, and we are also in Berlin-Zehlendorf, which is wonderful. We have this wonderful villa, but it's a bit outside the city center, and Berlin is such a big city, so there are different city centers, I would say. But for people, and especially the Arab Muslim community in Berlin, is not really living in Zehlendorf, but rather in places like Neukölln or Kreuzberg. So our strategy for the first year was to get accepted as a house in the immediate neighborhood, like an onion model, and then layer after layer we go on to other places. And for the second year this year, that's what we do. Like we present the house and go and promote our cause and speak at conferences, etc., etc. And you guys, you're happy to welcome every time at our house, and please spread the word about our work. And if you have an idea, I already told you, like we're happy to host you guys in the house. Just come with an idea and we have the ground for you. The conclusions. Actively build moments to get to know each other. Interactive programming, I think this is an important part from our work. We figured that it's nothing more boring than standing here on the podium as we do right now, but what I mean is like we do also cooking workshops, for example, or theater classes together, like where people really interact, you know, and then you don't have to have like a huge topic, you just give them something or play together. Like this is something people enjoy and everyone enjoys it. Try to match interests. I think that it's not so much about our intercultural differences. They're there, it's a fact, but it's more about expectation management. So I like the introduction that this is a place where people listen to each other, and that's exactly what it's needed, because we have to listen to each other. And like I have a feeling like everyone wants to put out his word and his opinion, but we miss the more important part, to listen to your opposite. Then you can build an argument based on what you heard. But that's something we try to do in our work to match the interests of our target group and our stakeholders. So the conclusion, I also like what the first speaker said. In the end, it's also about business. So the cultural world is a sector. It's also about business. And if we see it from a business side, we are an NGO, not for profit enterprise, so to say. But we have our audience, our guests, and we have to offer them something which is exciting. And I just addressed it. I mean, Berlin is so full with competition. Every evening you could have 1,000 invitations and you don't know where to go first. So, like, what can you offer them? I mean, content is key, really good, interesting topics, and the possibility to interact with each other. And I would say also like high like level people to network.
That's good.
Thank you guys. And if there are any questions, you're welcome. Please.
I would just like to know, with so much like funding from and ties to the state of Qatar, like how do you guys as employees, or how does the Divan in general, like how do they fight for a fair and like neutral representation of the culture and history of the entire Arab world? Because there's obviously like a lot of political issues going on between different states. So how do you guys like actively try to like fight for fair representation for all of the Arab world?
Yeah. I mean, you probably also addressed the Qatar blockade, right, in the Arab Gulf, and that's a good point. That's why I said you cannot leave politics out of the door, but you can at least try. And Qatar is not the country who blocks, but it's blockaded. So our doors are open to everyone from the Arab world, and whoever would like to come has a place there. So that's really the only thing we can say from our point of view.
Yeah. But I will add something. We are open to all the embassies here, like 22 from the Arab world. And also, we are working with the Arab communities here in Berlin. And there is nothing to do with politics in this situation. And also, we have some people like from Egypt or other countries. They are coming to our house. They are also working with us from Syria and other. We are working in the culture, not in the politics field. I think the embassies, how they are presenting like the relation between the country and the country, and we feel in this area like maybe in the Arab world, just they can be gathered more in culture than other topics, and this is something I think good to do.
Are you satisfied with the answer, or
Yeah,
another question?
Well, I guess it was more of a question like, I mean, I understand that the house is open to everyone, but I mean, you guys also mentioned that you like plan events specifically at your house, so you're maybe inviting guests. So, I mean, there are just some Arab countries, like Egypt obviously has a huge population, but like, I don't know, Palestine or Tunisia, they have smaller populations. So, I mean, like, how do you guys at Divan, like, try to incorporate all of the Arab world? I mean, I wasn't necessarily, like, trying to cause a political discussion or something, but, yeah, like, what would be kind of your way of going about things to get equal representation or neutral?
Yeah, by the way, the Palestinians, they are a huge community here in Berlin, and also the Lebanese. And also we are working with Jordanian, with the Yemenis, and with other
Sudan.
countries. It's not just about like the huge population, like we can say in Egypt, more than 90 million. For example, we did a lot of programs with Sudan, also with Tunisia, and also we are not working with the government, we are working with the communities. They are present themselves. If someone coming and I am from Morocco, he's welcome if he have something to present and to show the real image of other Arab world in Germany.
And from an organizational point of view, I mean, we go into the communities and we look for the multiplicators. So we cannot do this by our own. We have to ask people who are the opinion leaders in the field in your community, and then we try to work with them and partner. Because as we said, we're a platform model and we have only four staff people, so you cannot plan and execute and do media work all at one point in time. More questions? Please.
So, the many things that have been discussed, and I just kind of thought about media all the time, because there were some keywords like politics, what shapes the people's minds, what shapes public opinion. And in a way, bad news is good news for the media corporations, which are often privatized generally. And that can also be an influencing factor in people's stereotypes, opinions, and everything. Now, I don't believe that in the next 10 to 20 years that the media corporations are going to tell simply, you know, things that something good happened, because that would be a big no-no for them. It wouldn't make money. So the thing is, how do you see, and is there any way to kind of combat the media in terms of bringing people more to the cultural house and to kind of eliminate further stereotypes and, you know?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's a great point you make here, and I'm totally agree with this. I would say social media is a very, very good means to, or instrument to put out the word and shape another narrative by telling other stories, maybe more positive stories in the cultural field. And yeah, of course, the big media corporations, we all know the dynamics and the business models, so it's difficult. But even for them, if you really offer them something, a good story, because yeah, it's all about a good story in the end. Sometimes they like to eat it, you know. But what you can do yourself is, of course, you control your social media channels, and we use all of them. So we Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, what else? Periscope.
Periscope, yeah, and website soon.
Yeah.
Also, we are trying, like, for the media to have like the real resources from the Divan during like different workshops. If someone as an ambassador or someone who's living and raising in Germany, when he give like a speech or round table, you can take like the right information. It's not what you are. Sometimes you can just what they call it, like read it in newspaper or like in the radio, or what's going on about the Arab world or the war in Yemen or some places what's going on, or like Islamophobia and other stuff.
I think there was a question in the back. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Just going back to the earlier question with regard to being non-partisan, etc., and with regard to being able to represent our community. I think one of the things that needs to be addressed is the fact that combating terrorist ideology is a must in any organization that wants to foster the relationship between Arab and Western nations. Specifically because people or Arabs who live in Europe need like some sort of like a role model, etc., etc. Don't you think because this organization is somehow fully funded by Qatar, which is understandably a big supporter of the Muslim Brotherhood, which is considered to be like a terror group in different countries, don't you think this is gonna make your work hard to bridge the gap between different societies, etc.? And don't you think people will be worried that the political agendas behind this organization are not for the interest of Western audience, specifically for the reason that, as we all know, Al Jazeera channel with the with the Qaradawi ideas of legitimizing societal actions, etc., is not something that to be proud of at all. So, what do you see? How do you see like the role of this organization, and how can it be completely separate from the foreign affairs of the Qatari government?
I think I should ask you, where are you from first?
This is called logical fallacy.
No, just you can tell me exactly. It's fine. No, we can tell you exactly. I am Moroccan. I am neutral in this situation exactly. Yeah. Just I would like to ask you, where are you from?
Whataboutism is not something.
Yeah.
No. I think because when you talk about, everyone know now Qatar what they are doing, and the great relation between the Europe and United States, and everyone knows about the situation, about the blockade, and everything. It's clear. And I think it's not like the reason to talk about the situation now, what's going on between Qatar and the GCC countries, and they will back to the situation. And everyone knows like the problems and what's going on in the Arab region, from Morocco to Kuwait, as we can mention in the Arab world. And also like the agenda, there is no agenda. Like, for example, we can see like Britain or Germany, they have British Council, Institut de France, Cervantes over the world. We need like to promote the great Arab world in cuisine, in history, and the arts, and we are working with everyone. Even the people from the blockade, they are still living with their families in Qatar, and also everyone is welcome to the Divan. There is nothing to do in this platform, and we are not allowed the people to use our platform to attack the other.
Even if it's a terror ideology?
We are not talking about the terror ideology. There is some places you can talk about it. I'm sorry, I'm presenting the culture. Maybe if you would like to speak about that, you can go to the Qatar embassy, and you can speak with them. And I think a lot of people, they publish about what's going on between this area and who exactly funding, and everything. It's clear. Nothing like to behind this, I think so. Maybe your friend, you can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in a position to officially comment on Qatari foreign policy because this is not my job, clearly not. But I mean, privately, and I'm a researcher, so I'm a neutral scientist. I did my PhD. I looked at German foreign policy towards the Arab Gulf states, and especially the case study was Qatar, but also I looked at UAE and Saudi. So you're addressing the political game here, and this is we all know it's about power structures. I mean, we can go into this discussion, but it's not a point. I mean, we want to build bridges, and I got your point. And for example, we have one topic which is politics in our programming. The second supervisor of my PhD is Professor Peter Neumann, who is at the King's College ICSR, doing great work in this field. Like, we will host him this year maybe at the Divan and have kind of talks. Of course, we can address everything people would like to address, you know, and we said we are open, but there is only one point. We are not open to offer a platform where people contribute to the Hassspirale. What does it mean? Hates this
each other.
Yeah. So we want to work on the opposite. We want to improve the relations for cultural exchange.
I think it's enough the problems what we have in the Arab world. Maybe we can support like the Arab Institute, which one in Paris more like than 30 years, and a new association as a Divan and other from all over the world. This is might become something better, at least to people know about, because I think everyone knows what's going on in Yemen, in Palestine, in GCC countries, between Morocco and Algeria. The best like to be to build the bridges,
Are there further questions? It's not the case. I give it to you guys. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.